Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Monday as you are listening to the show today. Happy snow-filled Monday. We are pre-recording our conversation, not because of the snow, because of the pandemic, on the Zoom screen on a snowy Sunday evening. I have got Scott and Felicia on the Zoom screen with me. They are the owners of GNC Online Auctions and the people who have taken a lot of my money over the last several months, I will tell you.
It's appreciated.
I thought it would be cool to have them on the show because it's a really cool business. So Scott, Felicia, tell me a little bit about GNC Online Auctions. Have you guys, how long have you owned this business?
Well, we started in August. We purchased the business from, they were friends and neighbors of ours. We'd known them for several years. They had an antique store downtown, and then they switched over to an online auction house, and happened to see one day that they'd already bought a beach house. They were looking at retiring, and then we saw that they were going to move. And so I sent him a text about, hey, what are you going to do with the business? And he said, are you interested? And within 2 weeks, we had closed everything. We'd been with the accountant and the attorneys, and within 2 weeks, it was a done deal.
So, Scott, did she was sending him a text, or did she just come home one day and say, hey, guess what? We bought a new business.
No, we had several conversations about it, but it was definitely a quick decision on our part.
And I know you're a collector, so this must have been a really cool opportunity for you.
Yep. So I grew up in a family that every Friday night when I was in my early teens, we would go to an auction house in Manassas, Virginia. And my family had, collected antiques. So that was kind of the draw for me.
So how does it work? I mean, I know how it works because, again, I've bid on, I think, every auction since I discovered you guys, but it's online, but kind of walk me through what the process is.
All right. Well, people bring in their stuff that they would like us to sell. We do it on consignment. And so we're open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays from 10 to 5. People bring in their items that they would like for us to sell. Then we will go through and do a description and take lots of photographs, and then they're all listed we use a third-party provider. And then it's usually uploaded every Tuesday night, sometimes Wednesday mornings, but the auction goes off every week. You register to get online. You go through and scroll and find out what items are there and review every week. And then you can place your bid. And as you well know, Janet, that little thing gets addicting when you're trying to bid. If anybody's ever been to a live auction, you know what it's like when you're watching other people and you're raising your paddle or, raising your finger to the auctioneer's attention. But this is a little ding ding that makes you aware that someone's outbid you. So you watch that. You can set your max bids online, or you can do like you do each night. And
I set a max bid, but then they go right out the window when somebody else comes along, and I'm like, oh, no.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, it's so people drop off their stuff. They give us a call ahead of time, and we do on-site auctions. So if we've got a business that's closing, or we work with some estate attorneys. We've got people who are just downsizing. So we do on site at their business or house also.
So are there things that you don't take on consignment? Because I would imagine some things just probably aren't sellable and they end up even stuck in the front yard after a yard sale when people try to get rid of it.
Generally, we won't take items that are worn or broken, like clothing, stuff like that.
Older computers.
Older computers.
Just
but-
like you said, stuff that's left over from the yard sales.
And generally for folks that do drop things off, if they come with like a trailer load of merchandise, we'll look through it and evaluate it. And we try to take as much as we want because as we can, because that's what they're there for. They're there to get rid of it, So versus donating it or throwing it away, it's a treasure to someone else. So.
Well, and I love the
That's
fact that all of the auctions start with a $5 bid, which is cool because that's pretty much within anybody's budget. And then I've gotten a lot of really cool stuff for $5. As a matter of fact, this weekend I picked up something that I got that was really cool for $5. And is that part of, because Felicia, you mentioned that you use a third-party company, which I think is also awesome because it's even more secure. It's another layer of security.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
is that something they put in place, or is that something that the former owner had already done? How did the $5 starting bid go?
Well, with the party that we use, you can actually set it at any amount that you want to. And some people, like, these companies, they will do real estate, they will do cars, trucks, vehicles. So they can set a premium bid, or they can set a number of what they want to at least get from it. But the $5, we try to reach a happy medium. We do about 400 lots a week, and starting stuff off at $5. I mean, as you mentioned, $5, you can get a good bit of some great sales at $5.
Well, and once you guys explain to me how the closing process works, because it's not like at 7, everything is closed. It starts as a process, and some things close at 7, and then the time works its way through. And sometimes it's 8:30 before everything is finally gone. And now I'm addicted to watching the live part of it, even on things I haven't bid on, just to see how high are things going, to hear that little ding go off. And I have more than once gotten caught up in I can't believe nobody bid on that. Well, I'm going to take it for $5, even though it wasn't anything I had looked at in the first place.
Yes. And we have a lot of people that come in and go, yeah, we got it. Okay. No idea what they're going to do with it, but yes, they got it.
Yeah. And then there's the case I picked up. My latest thing are frames, is because I'm going to do a wall in my living room of different colored frames. They don't have pictures in them. It's just the really cool frames. And I picked those up from you guys from an auction this weekend, and included in one of the lots was a little box of teeny tiny frames. And I looked at Scott and I said, you're going to be seeing this again, because I'm going to bring it back and have him put it back in another auction. Do you have a lot of people that do that?
Oh, yes. Scott sees them all the time.
Thinking of a few items. People will buy box lots of CDs or even movie DVDs, and they will take them home and take out what they like, their genre. And then maybe, a month later, we'll see some of it come back. Because a lot of our box lots, CD lots, could be upwards of 100 CDs. So for you to buy that, and only like country or rock and roll, then to bring the rest of it back.
And you've got a really wide variety in an average auction. I mean, it runs the gamut from new furniture to antique furniture to tools. You mentioned CDs, DVDs, there's dishes. There's a lot of different stuff that you have in these auctions.
It does. It varies. We're looking at who's going to say what when. It does, and it all depends on what if they've been to, just been visiting grandma and they've got some stuff they want to bring back. They decided to make a weekend project and clean out the garage or their tool shed or whatever the case may be. So you're right. It varies every week. We don't know what's going to come in our garage or bay doors at any given time. That's part of the uniqueness of this.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of the cool part because you never know from week to week what's going to walk in the door and then how much it's going to go for when it goes back out the door again.
Yes.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about those people, about your consignors, about the estate auctions. I mentioned a second ago picking something up over this weekend, and it was at one of the off-site auctions that you had that was an estate sale. So can we talk a little bit about how that works and how people can reach out to you if they've got a basement like I do that needs to be cleaned out? Can we do that in the next segment?
Absolutely. Sure.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Scott and Felicia. They are the owners of GNC Online Auctions. Again, you can go to gnconlineauctions.com to see what I'm talking about, but don't bid against me. That's all I'm saying. Don't bid against me, even though you won't know that it's me you're bidding against. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes to talk with them a few more minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Monday as you are listening to the show today. We, however, have pre-recorded our conversation on the Zoom screen on a Sunday afternoon. There is no rest for the weary. I'm telling you people, even the snow, I am still working and I am working on the weekends. We are chatting today with another business owner, another couple that's a business owner that is also working on the weekends in the snow. Scott and Felicia are on the Zoom screen with me. They are the owners of GNC Online Auctions. So guys, in the first segment, we talked about how the auction process works, but it really does depend on people showing up on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays with their stuff for you to be able to even have a business. How scary is that?
Yes, when I go to work to my full-time job and then I come in like on a Friday, I'm like, oh, do I want to look? Do I want to look? And Scott's comes home and goes, we had somebody pull up with a truck and a trailer,
Is that probably the most amazing thing, that there does seem to be this steady stream of people who got stuff they want to get rid of?
Yes, which is a good thing. We appreciate that. And we have regulars that they'll go to other auction houses and they'll do stuff there, or stuff they've been to other estate sales, whatever the case may be. They bought the box lots and didn't need everything.
See, now I haven't gotten that brave yet. I haven't gotten brave enough to buy something because I think I can resell it and make more money. I'm not there yet. I still have all the stuff in my basement. But you're really dependent on people like me who, even before I discovered you, had a basement full of, I've got a kitchen and table and chairs downstairs that were still in good shape, but we got a new one. And I just didn't want to throw it away or give it away or anything else. So it's just been sitting in the basement forever. These are the kind of people that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Yes. We all have that stuff that, years and years ago, Scott and I used to collect all kinds of different stuff and we were very passionate about it. And now we just don't have time. We don't appreciate it anymore. The kids certainly aren't going to want them. So it's that. And we're seeing a lot of that, different demographics that are coming in, and they just realize that it's time to get rid of it. They've appreciated it and let somebody else appreciate it now.
Now, the off-site sales, sometimes they're estate sales. Sometimes it's just because somebody is moving and they don't want to load everything up and bring it to you. How do they work?
So folks will call us and they have so many items that it's just more feasible to go and do it from their house. So we actually go in and we go through all their things and lot things and organize. And then we go in and obviously catalog and photograph everything to get it on, uploaded to the site. And then we run a 2-week auction. Generally for the on-sites, that's how we do it. But yeah, they've like the one we just did this weekend, the family had gone through and taken a lot of stuff, but there was a lot of stuff left. And it was great.
So do
We'll
you
do a
guys
preview.
work with like estate attorneys and people like that are suddenly tasked after a death in a family with getting rid of all of this stuff? Is that one of the things or one of the people that you guys work with?
Yes, yeah, they reach out to us. We'll work with them. And when Scott says we do it on site, like you said, it's normally a 2-week long auction, and we'll do one weekend on a Saturday. We'll do a preview, so folks can come in and actually see the stuff in person, pick it up, look at the bottom, look at the marks that are on there, especially for sterling silver and some of the higher end stuff. And then the following week, that auction will close normally that Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, and then the following week is the absolute pickup for folks to come out, because we want to get this in and out of, the attorney's got things he has to do with the house. They're normally trying to get it on the market. They're trying to show it. They've got realtors coming in. So we need to get in there, hustle, get everything together, cataloged, and then get the auction taken care of.
Well, and I would imagine it's also another great way if people are coming there to preview and then coming there to pick up, that's more eyeballs on the house itself that could potentially get it sold quicker too. So there's a couple upsides to that.
Absolutely. The house we just did this weekend, I think Scott had 3 or 4 people that were like, "Oh, this house is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not on the market, but we'd love to buy it." So Scott's passing the phone numbers along.
Yeah.
And Scott, I remember a couple of months ago, you did an offsite auction that was a business that was closing. So these aren't always people's personal items or their houses.
Yeah, we sure do. Whatever it may be, whether it's a business or estate sale or just downsizing, we can do it all.
So the auctions that you have at the auction house, the ones that there's a new one every week. Felicia said there's a new one every week. They typically close on Wednesdays starting at 7. I can still come to your place and look at everything that's in the current auction. Like Felicia said, with the house previews, I can still do that now and see what everything looks like, touch it, look at it, see the size.
Yes. So our auctions start on Tuesdays, and you can preview that particular auction on Friday, Monday, or Tuesday, and then they end the following Wednesday. So plenty of time to come in and look.
So I got to ask, what is the weirdest item that you have ever gotten to be included in an auction that somebody has brought in?
Well, we've only been at it for 6 months now, but I would have to say a human skull that came from a doctor's office.
Thank you for clarifying where it came from.
Yes.
That wasn't a toe tag, okay?
And I mean, do you get to hear stories when people bring their stuff in? Or do you hear like a life story? Do you hear, oh, this particular item has blah, 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 blah. I mean, you probably really get to know a lot of people in ways that maybe you don't want to know them.
And that's again, when I come in after hours and Scott he'll educate me as to, do you know what came in today? And then he'll go through the life history of all of this. And you're just like, okay, you can't make this up. But it's the number of people that were bidding on that skull was amazing. I mean, you could hear the ding, ding, dings. They wanted that. So
And I
it was
remember when you
interesting,
had that
yes.
because a few weeks after that, you got eyeballs. And I was watching the eyeballs because I wanted to see if they went for as much money as the skull, but they were human eyeballs. They weren't
No,
real, right?
correct. And actually, I think they were cufflinks, weren't they, or something? Pins or something?
I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but they sure looked real.
Yes.
So what's been the biggest money surprise? I mean, what did somebody bring in and you're like, oh, this will probably average X number of dollars. And then it ended up blowing up and bringing in way more than even you expected.
Right now, there's a few things that are really blowing up. Sports cards with the pandemic, people are collecting those. Pokemon cards are really big, and that's all I can think of.
But your biggest surprise,
Oh, biggest surprise,
the beanbag.
a beanbag chair that sold for an incredible amount of money, but it was 6 feet tall and 6 feet wide.
A beanbag chair.
Yes.
I don't even know how you got on it. It was so tall.
Yep.
That is crazy. So there really is no limit to what somebody could bring in and how much they could get for it.
Correct. And one thing we don't take are guns, any kind of guns or weapons like that. We don't take that. We leave those to the experts.
So if somebody is listening and they thought, you know what, this is perfect because my husband isn't listening to the show and now I can finally get rid of all the crap he has stored in the basement or in the barn. Do they call you? Do they go to your website? Do they just load it in the car and bring it to you? What's the process to get started?
They could either contact us by email, which is GNC
Scott at GNC.
Scott at GNCantiques.com, or they could call us at 540-535-1570 on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays.
Fantastic. And the auction themselves are found on your website. People can go in. There's some, like you said, there's a new one that goes up one closes on Wednesdays. Typically the new one is started Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Where do they go? What is your web address?
GNC Online Auctions.com.
And all you have to do is register. It doesn't cost you anything to register. You go ahead and put your credit card in.
Correct.
Which is the other kind of downside because I just go in and I bid. And then after the auction's over, I just get an invoice. I don't even have to realize how all that works. Y'all are killing me. And if there is an attorney or something listening or somebody who has an estate to close out, do you do those differently than you do just me bringing you a box of stuff out of my basement, or is it the same process?
No, it's pretty much the same process. We have different agreements, obviously, for the on-site versus the drop-offs. So everybody, when they drop stuff off, or we have an agreement with them with regards to that. But it's pretty much the same way. And actually, even though we're only open Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, we're actually at the office almost 7 days a week doing something or other. So people can feel free to give us a call at any time. Reach out to us on our email, and they can give us a call first if they want to. Sometimes people aren't sure. Like big pieces of furniture really aren't selling well right now. The homes just aren't set up for that nowadays. It's a different world. So they'll send pictures to us and we'll let them know and help them decide if they've got there's a certain amount that they want to bring in. So we work closely with them that way. Sometimes Scott will actually go to the sites and look at those places ahead of time and help them understand and work with them to understand the entire process.
Well, Josh made the mistake of leaving a whole bunch of baseball and sports cards here when he moved to Scranton. So I'm totally, when we're done, go into the basement and finding those. And Scott is going to give me an overview of how much money I can make on ball cards that I'm pretty sure at some point I probably paid for anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been collecting cards for 30 years. So he knows the business there. But you just said that out loud. Josh. Hopefully Josh doesn't listen to you.
Oh no, he's in Scranton. The last thing he wants to hear is his mother on the radio.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So for the regular auctions, the auction closes on Wednesday night. Pickup is on Fridays at the auction house. Where is the warehouse located?
485 Fort Collier Road. And that's in Winchester.
And I love it because you guys will put the stuff in the car for me. Because when I picked up I'm telling you, when I picked up for the Wednesday auction that I picked up on Friday, I got a rain barrel. That's how crazy
Yes.
off the wall things are. And then the house auction, I got a bunch of frames and some other things. You guys will even put everything in the car for me, which I love.
We have great staff, great employees, so we're appreciative of them.
So GNCOnlineAuctions.com is the best first place to start. Thank you, Scott and Felicia, for taking some time on a snowy Sunday to meet me on the Zoom screen.
Well, we appreciate that, and thank you for your help and your support. It's always appreciated when you can talk about the small business guys. We appreciate that.
We are going to wrap up our conversation today with Scott and Felicia. They are the owners of GNC Online Auctions. Again, GNCOnlineAuctions.com is where you can go. And I joked at the end of the first segment, don't bid against me, but you won't really know who you're bidding against. And then Felicia pointed out, unless it's orange. If it's orange, chances are you're bidding against me, so stop. That's all I'm going to say. I will put links to everything up on the show notes page, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll have a brand new episode of The Valley Today ready to go for you. Just a few minutes after noon, it is Tourism Tuesday, Shenandoah County edition. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day stuff going on, so meet me back here then.